Vygotsky's work, the zone of proximal development. Take, for example, the relationship between counting and the concept of number. When asked to count all these bears, a 4-year-old boy can count meaningfully to 12 and rote to 15. This is his independent performance on this task, the best he can do alone.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 18.
Point to each one close to the bear and count loudly.
1, 2, 3.
But when the teacher structures the activity differently, the same child can perform at a higher level, counting meaningfully to 17 without missing any bears.
15, 16, 17.
Great job, Quentin.
Put this teddy bear down so I can take a nap and count, okay?
Assistance may take the form of teacher hints or clues, or otherwise setting up a situation so a higher level of outcome can occur. This higher level, which the child is currently capable of attaining only with help, is called the level of assisted performance.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Good job, Alex.
The area between the level of independent performance and the level of assisted performance is the zone of proximal development. It is here where the teacher must focus attention. Not all the assistance used by the child needs to be intentionally provided by an adult. Vygotsky believed that a child can perform on a higher level through any type of social interaction, interaction with peers as equals, with imaginary partners, or with children at other developmental levels.
B, O, R, and there. That was spelled right.
The zone is not static. It shifts as a child progressively attains the higher level. With each shift, the child is capable of learning more complex concepts and skills. Obviously, there are concepts and skills beyond a child's current zone of proximal development. For instance, a 4-year-old cannot be taught calculus even by the most gifted teacher. The concept of the zone of proximal development has at least 3 important implications for early childhood education.
These are called the directions. These tell you what you want to do. I want to do a car.
First, it causes us as educators to rethink how we intervene. What mediation or action on our part will help this particular child make the next step in his understanding?
Other way, Patricia.
Do we give oral hints, or do we pair him with a child who is slightly more advanced? Or do we have him teach a child who is just starting?
Screw that. Balloon from...
Second, the zone of proximal development has important implications for how we assess children. The unassisted performance level is what we have traditionally examined in both standardized testing situations and even in individual portfolios. What can a child perform alone?
It took the umbrella from Mr. With white. It took the umbrella from her.
That is Mr.
Mr. Wit.
Now, what was that?
White.
Good.
These 2 children can perform very similarly unassisted. They both read the first part of the sentence easily and had trouble with the words Mr. White and quickly. However, one child needed more hints than the other, which means that they are not at the same level of assisted performance. Unassisted performance alone does not give a true picture of where a child is.
Yeah. Are you almost done? Because remember what you said that you would do for me.
And third, the zone of proximal development causes us to rethink what is developmentally appropriate. As we have traditionally conceived it, Developmentally appropriate practice is defined by the child's repertoire of fully developed skills and concepts. Teachers are apt to wait until a desired behavior emerges spontaneously before providing activities to encourage it. For example, while many early childhood classrooms have a dramatic play area, children's play often remains narrow with limited roles and stereotypical use of props. Vygotsky argued that the most effective teaching is aimed at the higher level of the child's zone of proximal development, not at the lower. Teachers, according to this stance, should provide activities that are just beyond what a child can do on her own, but within what she can do with assistance.
But I need your help. My car broke down, and I need to call. Do you have a telephone?
No, we do not.
Yes, we do. Oh, you do? Could you call for me?
Yeah,
Well, you need to call
What
my
number?
garage.
what is it?
Okay, the number is 321-4488.
With this in mind, we feel that sensitive teacher interventions can enable children to operate at a higher level of their zone and thus should be considered developmentally appropriate. The teacher can prompt the use of objects in new creative ways and model higher levels of symbolic play.
Thank you. Did you tell them where my car is? Said Croft Liebert.
Okay, we'll get it.
Some American educators who have visited the children's centers in Reggio Emilia in Italy have commented that teachers there intervene more actively than teachers on this side of the Atlantic. These interventions don't seem to block creativity, but rather give children better tools with which to express themselves.